Not every nation skips odd regulations, even when sticking to global standards. Some places hold on to strange laws like forgotten habits. You might laugh at them now. A handful survive, only in dusty records. Others pop up once in decades. One country bans flying drones near cats. Another says you cannot name a pig. Napoleon. Enforcement? That part shifts like sand. Rarely do officers care. Still, the words stay written somewhere. Laws about hats exist. Rules tied to moonlight, too. Hard to believe, yet they sit in files. Not myths, just unusual pages in long rulebooks. Under the misty lanes of London and behind Parliament's old stone walls sits a maze of odd laws, uniquely British in flavor. Dying inside the Palace of Westminster isn't allowed by rule. One might say it's frowned upon by law. Supposedly, if someone passes away there, they qualify for a state funeral. An honor so heavy in cost and fuss that officials just made dying illegal instead. It's never been enforced, luckily for visitors and staff alike. Now, take the Salmon Act of 1987. Oddly precise, almost comical. Its 32nd clause makes it illegal to deal with a salmon under shady conditions. Originally meant to stop thieves pretending smuggled fish were theirs. Today it sounds like something from a silly British comedy. Picture an officer pulling you aside by the river, asking flat out, "Just what exactly are you doing with that fish?" Oddness touches even royalty. Along the Thames, silent swan flocks without marks fall under royal claim by old custom. To harm such a bird crosses beyond discourtesy. Loyalty to the state stands questioned. A bear dozes in an Alaskan thicket. Snap a picture by nudging it awake, and that act breaks the law. 50 states spin 50 different rule books. One Oklahoma statute allows archery from any vehicle rolling down a road. Hunting whales happens to be the stated reason. Fossils show those creatures vanished from inland waters ages ago. Laws twist logic like circus contortions. Each town stitches its own odd thread into the national fabric. Head west to California, specifically Pacific Grove, where touching or bothering a butterfly while it migrates is against the law. Breaking that rule might cost someone $1,000 or land them behind bars for half a year. Over in North Carolina, singing poorly in public spaces carries legal risk too. Though choirs and musical groups get a pass without question, a ghost of old fears lingers there. In Colorado, placing a holiday tree in a window breaks the law. Back in the 1800s, builders worried flames might spread fast through crowded wood frame homes, so they banned the sight. That rule never faded, still standing after all these years. A country famous for freedom sometimes ties it up in rules so odd they sound like riddles. While standing for liberty, France passed a law against emotional harm between partners in 2015. Good idea, some said, until questions rose about if skipping a birthday dinner might count as abuse. What feels protective can also feel confusing when love meets legal wording. Laws meant to shield feelings may end up weighing small slights too heavily. Oddly enough, calling a pig Napoleon is against the law. Not a joke. In France, you can't label farm animals with names tied to revered historical figures or icons. Imagine mistaking a muddy grunt for an emperor charging across battlefields. Rules like that exist just in case. In Paris, where painters once roamed freely, a rule popped up in 1910 banning kisses at train stops, all because affection could slow things down. Even though nobody really checks now, the idea sticks around. Emotions should never block the metro's perfect timing. Shiny skyscrapers rise where strict rules hold sway. Laws here treat tidiness like a duty, not a choice. One rule stands out: it's illegal to sell gum. Chewing isn't against the law, just bringing it in or offering it. Back in 1992, mischief makers clogged train buttons with sticky wads. That's what sparked the ban. Only certain stores can hand out medicated types, say for quitting smoking. Buyers? They have to sign their details before getting any. Here's where it gets odd. Skip hand washing after using a public restroom? You might get fined. Tossing crumbs to pigeons in the park? That could cost you too. Strolling bare at home when the drapes are wide open? Yep, that one also draws a penalty, labeled as disturbing the peace by local laws. Imagine making noise while eating in a public cafeteria. Some might frown, seeing it as crossing a line. It's less about rules, more about what people expect. Reaction isn't guaranteed, yet discomfort can spread fast. Quiet manners often matter there. Maple trees drip slow here, yet laws twist odd under calm surfaces. Alberta bans owning pet rats. Yes, bred ones too, even when bought clean from shops. The reason hides in paperwork. Officials call them invasive creatures by rulebook logic. Other provinces see it differently though. Ontario allows what Alberta denies without fuss. Apologies come easily across Canada, yet some rules stay hard to explain. Back when smartphones were everywhere, Canada still had a rule against faking magic tricks or reading futures. Yes, really. This odd bit from the criminal book came from old worries about being tricked way back in the 1700s. A fortune teller in Toronto finally pushed to have it tossed out in 2018. That such a thing survived so long says more than just one story. Here's something odd about the long gun registry. Owning a rifle? That's allowed. But move without updating your address on paper within 30 days? Suddenly that's a crime. Rules around forms hit harder than punishments for serious offenses. Who knew paperwork carried such weight? Out in Japan, staying quiet often matters more than speaking up. Laws bend toward keeping peace, even if it means odd outcomes. Picture this: leaving a flat in certain towns, hand back every shot you snapped inside. The reason floats strangely: protecting the room's own private life. Imagine walls holding secrets worth guarding. Banned meds surprise many visitors. Though Japan allows certain drugs freely, cough tablets with pseudoephedrine often trigger arrests. One ingredient links to crystal meth production. Ordinary names, such as Sudafed, led tourists straight into legal trouble. Even if it isn't official law, karoshi, dying from too much work, is common enough that firms have started tracking how long staff stay at their desks. Still, the habit of lingering past quitting time holds strong. Down under, rules bend around wild landscapes. Picture this: swapping a household light bulb in Victoria might break the law. Only certified Sparky pros can do it. Touching the socket turns the task into official electrical labor. Safety codes draw that line tight. A tiny twist of glass becomes serious business when regulations step in. Getting caught dousing a walker with your car's splash might cost 200 Australian dollars. In Queensland, making a mess like that counts as a legal disruption. Driving past a puddle and leaving someone dripping? Not merely impolite, punishable by law. In the Northern Territory, crocs move wherever they want, yet grabbing one is against the law. Wrestling them is allowed only if science demands it. That path requires paperwork, coverage in case things go wrong, maybe even someone to talk to afterward. Smiles matter more than you might think in Italy. Long ago, Milan made it official. Frowning on the street breaks rules, unless someone is at a funeral or sickbed. Looking unhappy could get you noticed, though nobody says exactly what happens next. Try staying gloomy near the cathedral if you doubt that. Beauty here follows laws, not just taste. Back in 2008, Venice made it illegal to feed pigeons. Their droppings were eating away at ancient stone. Anyone caught tossing crumbs might pay a fine, up to 500 euros. These creatures, once seen as part of the city's charm, now get eyed like flying troublemakers. On the island of Capri, loud footwear is banned past 10 at night. Quiet matters there. Walking with clicking heels could break that rule. Peace after dark comes first. Strange laws exist for reasons. Not just quirks, they show what people worry about, like sickness or mess or rudeness. They point to values too, such as order, tradition, or peace. Some were written long ago, yet a few still carry weight today. Even now, far from old times, local rules can catch you off guard. A rule might seem silly until you see where it came from. Culture shapes law more than we notice. What feels normal here could shock someone elsewhere. The past sticks around in small ways. Quiet reminders hide in legal words. You stumble on them and pause. That moment tells a story. Curious about ancient laws that feel made up? How about the weirdest driving rules anywhere? Truth bends further than stories. Every bit of this actually exists.